Well,
Welcome to Shade and the City. I am your girl Treese.
it smells.
And today, y'all, we are here to do our recap of The Real Housewives of Potomac. Okay. Season 9, episode 2, Double Trouble. And yeah, y'all, I thought this was a cute episode. The Potomac Girls is giving. I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. So kudos. So far, it's only episode 2 so far, but we doing good right now. We're
I
doing good.
really didn't like the end. I was so aggravated.
The end with you're talking about with Gizelle.
Yes, I thought that was so disgusting.
We'll get there because I'd like to know. I mean, of course, I want your opinion on that, but sorry, y'all. I got to make myself more. Felt like I was a little washed out. Anyway, so yeah, y'all. If you haven't already, please make sure y'all hit that like button
And that subscribe button.
and y'all. Let's jump right into it because obviously, Neil's got a bone to pick with Gizelle. So let's get into it. Let's get shady. So we kick off the episode. We're picking up where we left off. Jazzy and Jacqueline, they're trying to calm Mia down, who's upset about Gizelle and Karen questioning her parenting. I don't know if it's just me, and I'm not trying to be insensitive. Is it just me, or was it giving crocodile tears to you? Okay, I was like, because y'all know I mean, we know Mia be lying, but at the end of the day, I do kind of like Mia, so I
do
not
believe
trying to be a butthole, but I was like, it's not
was,
giving real tears.
I think she was genuinely upset, but no, I don't think she was actually crying.
No, I don't think she was crying for real. But anyway, so Jacqueline reassures her she's a good parent, not to let people on the outside, speak on how she mothers. And so Mia says that in her confessional, she knows her kids are good, basically. Wendy reminds the ladies that, hey, we're all mothers. And basically, that's a lot to be bringing up in front of a table full of people at that. So basically, Gizelle and Karen say they weren't trying to imply Mia wasn't a good mother. Gizelle basically explains that when Gordon went on TMZ, it was clear that he was angry and he was hurt. And she believes that this anger came from, because Mia had her children around this whole situation with ink and transition. Wendy thinks that the whole situation is basically confusing. What she called it, this Bermuda Triangle that Mia got going on. And so Gizelle moves on with the attitude situation. She tells Wendy that she's hopeful they can start fresh. She wants to meet with her the next day so they could have a conversation. Wendy agrees, and Gizelle presents her with a bucket hat because that's basically where their friendship is at this moment. Gizelle gives herself the queen hat. Of course, she's gonna give herself the queen, and she gives Jazzy and Stacey hats. I guess that were like the derby since they're like new to the group. Didn't really understand that, but okay. And then Mia returns, and
welcome to the derby.
And so Mia returns, and Karen and Gizelle apologize for making her upset. Karen basically says that this wasn't the Inquisition party that they thought it would be, but says that she can handle anything that they bring her way.
I was deflecting, like Mia said.
I was gonna say yeah, because you didn't really answer nothing. But again, I understand it's a legal matter.
So Gizelle met up with Wendy. Wendy, as soon as she walked in, she was like, "Girl, it smells like farts."
You think you just
you ain't even a fart. You just smell like it,
right?
She said that.
Can I tell you? This is not. Don't get me wrong. I do think Gizelle is a beautiful woman for her age. But boy, can you see that age in her neck?
I can't stand you with this whole neck thing.
The neck and the hands. It always tell the truth. Look, I'd be like, oh, Gizelle looks so cute this scene, and then she'll always, and she always has her head up in the air anyway, and then they show that neck, and I'd be like, damn.
We're gonna have to start using some neck and some hand cream. If it's the neck and the hands that show it.
And you would think GNA health, holistic wellness, and But keep on keeping on. I just had to point that out. I said, "Oh, girl, that neck."
So Wendy says that she came in there with feathers because she's coming in with open arms. Um,
And look, I hate to say it. Do you see how photoshopped her neck is in this picture? Ain't a wrinkle in sight.
yes, you can hardly even see her collarbone because it's so
Oh,
like Photoshop. So she says that hell must have frozen over, okay, because here we are sitting down for lunch, okay, after Gizelle told her not to touch her. And of course, they ran the clip back. Now, Giselle tells her that, when she gets angry, she comes off as condescending. And, there's no room for friendship when you're talking to someone in a demeaning way. Wendy told her it's unfair to police the way someone responds to things when someone, came knocking at your door. Basically, boo, you wanted all the smoke. You came here for the smoke.
right.
Giselle was not trying to police it. Okay. She's just telling her that she don't like it. And Wendy said, okay, I received that. And I don't like when you alienate people. So Giselle told her, when she doesn't like someone, she doesn't speak to them. And I can admit I am the same way. Maybe it's a Virgo thing. If we don't like you, we just don't. You don't exist to us, to be honest with you. But she said moving forward, if she does have an issue with her, she will let her know in the moment. So they're both feeling like they had a pretty good conversation. Giselle, maybe they ain't on the same page because Giselle is thinking that maybe it's a little best friend ish. Wendy, not so much. Wendy let her know that she does think that,
It's giving acquaintish.
acquaintance, yes. Wendy let her know that she thinks Mia is really hurt more than they know. Giselle said that, she wasn't questioning her as a mother, but she doesn't want to deal with any of it. She doesn't feel like I guess what she was saying, like this isn't the platform for it. Like it shouldn't be
I was
talked.
just gonna say my notes say basically Giselle wants to keep it off the show.
Exactly. Then shades ink by telling her all the shady stuff that Karen said about him and how short he is.
I love when she said they don't see eye to eye.
Because she can't help but be shady. She like after Karen pointed that out, there was something else that happened. I was like, this she really can't help but
Yeah,
be shady.
yeah, that's. I mean, but well, you know what? I guess if she would admit it, that would make it better. But the fact that she won't admit it is what really the fact that she's in
Like, I
denial.
don't
Like,
think it was
no,
being shady. That wasn't a dig.
right. So I will say that I actually really like this scene. I think that this has been a long time coming. Um, and it's sad that it took probably a threat from Bravo and Robin getting cut loose for you to actually agree to sit down and do
Mhm.
this. Because I do believe they've tried to do this, or like production has probably tried to set this up before, and
Mhm.
Giselle just absolutely refused.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm happy that this happened. I will say that I did see on Twitter,
What
Wendy.
do you remember? So I remember from Wendy's point of view why she was so upset. Why was Giselle so upset? Do you remember?
That's why everybody feels like, and this is just my opinion. Y'all jump in the comments and let me know what you think. But I think that that's why a lot of people feel like Giselle had a colorism issue, um, and basically felt like she picked on Wendy. I don't. I can never really tell you what Giselle's real smoke with Wendy was.
She loved
Besides
Nick.
the fact that she was beautiful, she was educated, and maybe she didn't like the fact that she kept talking about her degrees every 5 seconds.
You notice she called her Dr. Wendy.
Right. So and not saying that Giselle isn't educated, but she doesn't have 4 degrees. Okay.
Mm,
So I think that, and obviously makes a lot of her good own money and, has a successful marriage. And,
say that.
it's a lot of things that, but I don't know what her real beef is. I can't pinpoint it, but if y'all know, y'all jump.
Be jealous. Take some notes.
Okay.
I ain't about to be jealous. I
Look,
want
like
to.
Sierra
I'm
said, I'm selling courses. Okay, bitch.
right. I ain't about to be jealous, girl. Tell me how you did it.
Okay.
I ain't about to be
What she said was
jealous.
Sierra's prayer got everybody on their knees saying that.
Exactly. Give
Um,
me. Look, give me the sauce.
Okay. But what do you say? What do you say? Give me the juice.
Give me the juice.
You got the juice. But no, so I did see Wendy on Twitter kind of like defending herself a little bit because I guess maybe some of the fans were like, oh, you didn't go in deep enough on Gizelle. And she was like, no, it wasn't aired. But I absolutely went in on everything from her talking about my mother to her talking about my marriage to she was like, no, I touched on everything in that particular scene. Yes, that's what she said.
And they still walked away, okay?
Yeah. And you know what's so funny? I'm to hear Wendy say that. I hope that really did happen because I'm gonna be honest with you. As a viewer, I wouldn't have believed that she would have like been accountable for that. Gizelle's just
Cool.
not good at that.
Well,
Gizelle,
that's what I'm saying. And they still walked away, okay? Because
right?
to be honest with you, when they first sat down, right? Like I said,
It was so awkward.
I guess it kind of rubbed me the wrong way, I guess, because I didn't remember Giselle's beef. So
Mhm.
for her to be the first one to talk about what her issue is and what the problem is, I was like,
I
okay.
agree with you. I
I
agree
was,
with you on
I
that.
was
I
like,
was like, why is she leading? But
yeah, this is probably
she
not going to go
also was the
anywhere.
one that came in and said, hey, I'm here to listen. I hope that you're here and we can discuss and it can be reciprocated. So I I can understand, but yeah, I didn't like that. I was like, why are you leading?
Yeah. So then I really didn't think that they were going to be off to a good start. But then the fact that they ended fine, I was like, okay. But now to hear that Wendy went into more of really what was bothering her, and we know how Giselle is. I'm super surprised that it ended the way it did.
And then so what did you think about also her when she said when Wendy was correcting her with the oyster situation and she was like, well, being demeaning or something is not gonna build and basically kind of like checked her. And
Mhm.
I'm gonna be honest with you, we wouldn't have made it past that point because get the chip off your shoulder. I'm just playing with you. Like, like I just couldn't be like that's what I'm saying. That's how much distaste because Robin could have said the same thing to her and she
Mhm.
would have laughed that off. But because it was Wendy, she just took it so and I was like, it is
Well,
not
let
that
me, well,
serious.
let me
And
say,
I definitely didn't
but
think Wendy
but
was being
Trace,
demeaning.
but Trace, that's not a good comparison because if you were to say something like that to me, I'm gonna laugh it off. Like, you want to feed it to me? You want to do it, or so, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can make a joke about it, but if it's somebody that I was really just beefing with, and I'm trying to get to a good place with you, I'm still trying.
Okay. I hear what you're
Still
saying.
trying
But
to
I
get there.
definitely didn't feel like what anything Wendy said was demeaning in any way to Giselle.
Well, no,
And
but
I was
if
like, she's putting 20 on 10. Was she
and
being judgmental a little bit?
but
Yes.
yeah, but that's us. But if I already feel like you're condescending, and I
Okay.
already feel that you come across demeaning, and now we're trying to get back to a better place, and you're what was it, her or somebody that said like you come across as kind of like a mother and you telling me how to eat my oysters, while,
Oh, okay. Somebody did say that. You're right.
yeah, like, while I'm telling you that you come across condescending, we still trying to get there. So I might
Okay.
not find it
Okay.
funny when you do it.
Okay. Look at Nels coming through for her fellow Virgo. Go ahead.
She's is she in September though?
Yeah, we said she saw September like 6 or something like that. I figured it out the when last
I
episode.
mean, she's
She's not far off like Beyonce.
Beyonce's the fourth.
I know, and she's not far. She's like the 6th or the 8th or something like
Oh,
that.
yes, you're saying not far off from Beyonce. I
Yeah,
mean, she's, you know,
you're stupid. You think she has more Leo traits? She has
yeah.
a Leo. She has a Leo moon. You stupid.
I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it. Because you know how I feel about my September Virgo. So,
You're
but
terrible.
I mean, that is closer still to the Leo side. So,
You're hilarious. So then we get to see Stacy at home with her daughter Arabella and their au pair. Um, we learned that Arabella,
trilingual. What?
yes, she's trilingual. I love this.
Show off your baby girl. Go ahead, Stacey.
Yes, Stacy definitely has a reason to be proud of that little girl.
German, German at that?
Right. Because when she was speaking it, it sounded hard. It
When
sounded hard.
I said, "Oh, Stacey, you speaking it too?" I mean,
Well, I'm
listen,
sure she had to pick up the look. I
why?
need
I was married to a whole dude that spoke another language. I ain't putting
look.
stuff.
It's so funny. I need to call.
What
I
I
need to call
understand.
Jazz. I need to call Jazz and ask her if she know any German from being out there.
No, because
Nah,
it's German is hard as hell. So the
yeah, I'm
fact she
sure.
it, the little girl speak, I said, I mean, of course, learning another language is hard, period, right? So the fact she knows 3 languages, but I said German.
Yeah.
I said, okay, Stacey. All right, we seek you, boo.
So
We
then we
seek you.
learned Stacy's life is just all over the place. Okay. She was giving
I'm here for it.
Ashley a little bit of Drew Sidora.
I'm,
Okay,
I'm here for it.
so apparently
I
she
like
said that
it.
her and the husband still share a house. We done seen this before.
Besides that part, but
With
I was
they
Stacey.
they're going through a divorce as we know. But to make things easy on Arabella, they decided to stay in the same home. She does have a crash pad, which looks like downtown DC or whatever. And
But he has a crash pad because she didn't say that. She said that they shared that house together. She has a crash pad in DC, but they're
well, she
both.
said he travels a lot, I think, because he's a businessman. So
Oh,
I
he's
think
an international hoe.
I don't know, child. I don't know, but she does talk about
Dating people. She's dating a person. Yeah, hoe.
you stupid. So she's talking about how she's dating someone, she knows he's dating someone. And basically, I always think again, it's so funny because I'm acting like this is new, but people have been doing this for years and having kids in the same house and living a whole separate life when they leave the house every day. So, this ain't they didn't reinvent the wheel. They doing it for the kids or the kid. We
And
done
really
seen
don't plan to tell her until they figure out schools and houses and none of that.
and I think she gonna end up like well actually I can't even say she gonna end up like Ashley because she don't seem like she really tripping on getting out that house or changing up that and I can understand that because it's gonna be an adjustment for her daughter. So I absolutely understand why but at to Ashley's point, at some point, if you really want to release yourself or free yourself, you're gonna have to take a step, even if he pays for the house, like Ashley.
Well, I mean, she works, so she got her own little crash pad. So I mean, he
Oh,
probably does.
that's true. That's true.
All right, so Kiana went over to visit Karen. So after Karen looked out for her at the GNA event, apparently they grew a friendship. What are you watching?
I'm sorry. I was watching the game. My bad.
I know you was.
I just happened. It seemed like they was getting ready to do something.
Focus.
Okay. I'm sorry. Sorry. It's only 1 minute left. Go ahead. I'm focused.
Look, I just see you.
I'm focused.
All right, so Kiana gets into a conversation about the love of her life, Greg. Apparently, they're building a house together and plan on cohabitating together. Kiana and her
She's
mom.
really excited about this, so she don't have to bring her hoe bag every night.
Yes, that's always great.
Mm-hmm.
It's always a great thing. So Karen and her mom are getting her ass about getting this ring on her finger though. Like first, okay. She said, it's been 9 years since she's lived with someone. Her last fiance passed away. And it took her some time to, heal from that. So Kiana then finds out that Karen had a whole birthday party and she wasn't invited.
And apparently, her and Karen are very, very close, and I love to see this.
Hmm. Now then we see where Karen specifically told Gizelle to make sure that she invited her. Okay. She told her that Gizelle and Ashley, are doing an event and hopefully she'll be invited to that. Now she said she really don't know if that's where she want to be at because last one she went to was the ghetto.
That's how.
The ghetto. Giselle said, at the party it was giving the ladies, wanted an inquisition. But really she wants to see who the real bitches in her life are. And
Mm.
It wasn't. It really wasn't giving her birthday party for real. Okay,
Well,
this is where we get into the
yeah.
tea. Yes,
So
yes.
then this is what we learn. This is what we learn a little bit more about Stacey. And you know what I do like about Stacey, and maybe it's because the fact that she's an anchor or she does TV. She's very good at asking very direct questions nicely.
Hmm. Hmm.
Because I
Yes,
felt, I mean, I don't I guess getting to know someone or whatever, but she just seemed very comfortable. Like I feel like some of the things she may have asked Ashley just getting to know someone, for somebody you're just meeting, it might have been like, oh, but
it's crazy because I caught that too, and I was like, when so it was more the question and not the approach. When
right, right.
she asked the question, I was like, okay,
Right,
but
like just not meeting some, you know what I mean?
but but the way she asked it, it still kind of made you feel
It was
comfortable.
very inviting. Yeah, it was very
Exactly. I
inviting.
clearly felt the same way. And I guess, they, know each other also or whatever. But yeah, I completely agree with that.
So basically they previously met each other on a set of Fox 5, where Stacey is apparently a news anchor now. So shout out to her. I don't watch Fox, so unfortunately I didn't even realize she was on there. They discussed Stacey's divorce and her ex-husband and them still sharing a home while they're going through the mediation process. Ashley can relate and says basically what I told y'all, that it's hard, you still feel like you're together when you're not. And so Stacey asked about Ashley's race, and Ashley explains that she's mixed, but she identifies as Black. And when Stacey asked about how she's managing that with her boys, that even now I was like, damn, that's a good question.
Hmm.
And Ashley admits,
Wondering where it was going though.
right.
Hmm.
And so she admits that it's hard because they don't see themselves as little Black boys. Um, and so, because basically they can identify as white. And so she said that she reads books to them basically to try to educate them. And really the only time they get, I guess, exposure to Black folks is when they're around her family. So I love how Stacey comes in and shares her own personal story about Arabella, and how even though she's German and she's proud, she wants her to be just as proud of being a young Black woman as well. And so I thought I thought this was a good scene. I liked it.
For, all the way in Detroit, which made sense as to why, she was asking these questions.
Right. And so Ashley basically asked if Stacey if she's dating, and then we learned that Stacey says that she loves someone, um, but they haven't been physical yet. He's a devout Christian. His name is TJ, I think his name was.
Hmm.
Um, and but she feels like this is it, and they want to wait till they get married before they do it. And
So, so he
Ashley just said that she is just so shocked that she ain't hopped on that pogo stick, and says that it couldn't have been her.
wouldn't have been her. We know, girl. We know.
I'm loving some Ashley. I'm loving this free spirit here. Just get down on it.
I feel like she was always kind of.
No, she's always been that way, but I think she's been treading lightly. But I think now that she's pretending for real, even more that she's really gonna get this divorce now, that
Hmm.
she's willing to be a little bit more open.
Pretending to get this divorce.
I mean, I still think she's pretending, but now because she's pretending harder, she's being a little bit more open about what she's actually doing in these streets. Before, but yeah, she was doing it, but she was quieter about it because you know.
So Karen went over to go see Giselle. Giselle said she was looking out the window trying to figure out how she got there, whether it was an Uber, whether it was Ray. Karen said, "Listen, it was an Uber, okay? Just like
Did
Beyonce,
she
I
say
can."
it was an Uber? I thought she said something like, "Oh, I don't do an Uber." She said, "I have a driver." She said, "Beyonce has a driver. Why would not have a
Oh,
driver?"
I don't know.
Like I think I don't know the way that I took it. Karen made it seem like Uber was beneath her.
Then Giselle asked her, if she enjoyed her Hatitude party, and
She said,
she
"Hell no."
had, good intentions, okay. But then when she brought up that whole little non-alcoholic drink on the menu, she felt like it was messy. Giselle said it wasn't a dig. She thought people should know that there was options. And Karen feels like this girl just can't help but be shady.
She
And I
know
believe
she knows
her.
she knows no other way.
But she said that's why she like her.
Right. And see, I love when you get to that point in your life where you realize you might not like everybody you have to be around sometimes. But if I can just learn to accept you for who you are while I have to be around you that way, I'm not surprised when you show me who you are.
Mm-hmm. I think it took a little while.
Yeah.
Now she said she did feel like, giving Wendy the bucket was a bit much. Gizelle said that they spoke, they had a good conversation. And she said that when you don't speak and you leave things up in the air, you assume things. So, they're in a better place. And Karen feels like that was some growth. She also told her that before Karen got there, Jacqueline had a lot of questions. And asked her if she's seen her. She said Jacqueline is on timeout. Okay, because she made a comment like, "Well, we got to find out what the verdict is," and she need people that's in her corner no matter what the verdict is. Okay. Um, Karen told her that she saw Kiana. She was looking real cute, but she was upset that she didn't get an invite. Gizelle said, "Girl, there was only a certain number of people that could be in their room."
And
Okay.
Giselle did tell her that. She did say, she said, I'll check because I think there's only a certain amount of people. She did say that in that clip earlier.
So
Now, why? No shade.
why was it Kiana that was left out?
That's a great question.
You know what? To me, honestly, what I would have
'Cause
done.
I mean, no shade, but I don't know. If I'm not mistaken, Jazzy just met Karen that day.
Yeah, I think me personally, if it was a certain number of people, it was your birthday, and you told me all the people that you wanted to be there, and it was
Right.
more than the people that were allowed in there, I would let you know there's only this number of people. Out of this number of people, you have to pick this many.
And not even that, but like I said, Mia brought 2+1s. I mean, I think Karen wanted Jacqueline to be there. So that's why I said you can't knock her off the list. But technically, Jazzy shouldn't have been there. Mia shouldn't have had a +1. If it's about Karen and what she wants to do and the people that love her and are celebrating her, then absolutely Kiana should have been in Jazzy's spot.
Hmm. Well, Giselle says that, she will be inviting her to the GNA event because it's no shade. It was not to slight her, and feels like Karen was being messy. But I mean, I feel like it could have been handled in a better way. Anyways, she reminded her about her event and told her, that there's a cocktail hour and the National Brain Tumor Society will be there that she's partnering with. She said GNA is about looking cute, but they're moving in a different direction towards health and wellness. And she said that because her father passed away from a brain tumor, she felt like she needed to do something a bit more meaningful. Now Karen reminds her that she will also be awarded earlier that Friday, but she'll definitely be at her event. Apparently, she's receiving the Fem Power Award that is giving to entrepreneurs in the community that give back to the community at a social level. Gizelle, really, this is what it was that made me really felt like she really can't help but be shady. Okay. She said that she got an invite 3 months prior to
Mm-hmm.
this, and Karen was not on the list. So she thinks that somebody dropped out. And then Karen hit them up and said, "Can you award me? Can you honor me?" Regardless, basically, of her citations. I said, "This she really cannot be. She
She
really
said
can't.
8 or 9 citations at that.
She really can't help herself."
Well, I mean, so I'm very happy to hear that Gizelle is pivoting this GNA thing because the clothing wasn't wasn't what it wasn't giving what it needed to give at all because there was none available. Okay. And as far as Karen's honor award, congrats to her. I don't know how important this was, but clearly it was an important event for her. And I just think, Gizelle might be being shady and she's not being awarded for anything. But we'll get there, but in the next scene. But I kind of felt like, and maybe it's just me playing advocate, but I kind of felt like Karen was right for at least if I know you have two places to be, at least I'm gonna provide transportation for you to get to both events. so you can try to make both events.
No, that was dirty.
All right, well, we'll get into it. So, then Gizelle
The
gets
next
a
morning, she had the text.
yeah, she gets a text the next morning from it's in the group chat though. It's not just to her from Karen, basically letting them know that hey, I want you ladies to come to my event. So even though I know Giselle's event is the same day, so basically I've arranged
And
transportation.
really around the same time.
Right, and kind of around the same time. So I'm gonna arrange transportation for y'all to come to my event and then go to hers, which is what I was just talking about, right? So obviously Gizelle is very upset. She's like, why? That's not what friends do. I've had my event. Everybody has RSVP'd for my event. And now basically Gizelle is side-eyeing anybody that does go to Karen's event because she's like, y'all already committed to my thing. This was so last minute. And now y'all just, but can I just say, well, first of all, you know what? Not let me not even sit here and lie. This is me playing advocate. Okay. I can applaud the ladies that did try to do both.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why I'm gonna say that because y'all hear me. If y'all been in this on this channel long enough, y'all know I am a one event a day girl. Okay. If I'm going to the birthday party, I ain't going to dinner later. I ain't going to the club. I'm not. If I'm going to the show, that's it. I don't. I'm at a certain age at this point in my life. I'm one event a day. I ain't hopping. I don't event hop no more. Okay. I ain't got it in me to do
No more.
it. No more. No more. Okay. I used to be on that.
You used to.
Now it'd be like, no, I'm a one-stop shop. Usually where I end up is where I want to stay for the rest of the night. I don't really be trying to do too much moving around unless it's a special occasion like a birthday or something. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so no, so I can applaud the ladies.
Try to keep it close.
Right, just keep it close. But no, I can applaud the ladies for trying to do both.
I can too.
And unfortunately, basically they find out as they're getting ready to leave because I believe, well, basically all the ladies are going to Karen's event for the most part. And
I guess it's slightly earlier.
yeah, slightly earlier. So they're gonna try to get to Karen's. They're asking the driver, what was his name? Fami, I don't know. But basically, they're like, "Hey, how long is this gonna be to get from one point A to point B?" And Stacy, while they're on the bus at this point, brings up basically how wrong Karen is for doing this and putting them in this situation where they have to basically try to do both or choose. Wendy and Kiana, like, you know what, our loyal, we pledge our allegiance to Karen. So you know what, we're getting off at stop number one, and y'all can carry on and go on to Giselle's thing. Now, what I did think was funny is they said, I thought it was more of them on there. I got to think about it. Kiana, Wendy, I guess I can't count Karen.
Mia.
So was it just Mia, Jazzy, and Stacy left? I guess it was. Okay. I don't know. For some reason I thought it was more ladies. Okay, so then yeah, and so basically they get in the van. It's gonna be like 29 minutes. Wendy said, no, no, no. If you know about DC traffic. And honestly, when I was thinking that the whole time when they was talking about trying to map it out and make it, I said, there is no way. And it was raining the way it was raining. There is no way. There is no way. But Fami did his damn thing, y'all.
He did.
And he got them there. 8:02.
He did.
Oh, and in the meantime, between time, what I'm skipping over is Ashley is trying to communicate with the ladies because Giselle's like, I don't want them here. If they decided to go there, I don't want them here. We see Vivian show up, Jacqueline.
I think it's also because it was last minute.
Right.
They really got the text the same day of the event. If Karen really wanted you there, why didn't she have you RSVP ahead of time?
Well, you know what's so crazy? And I was just about to bring up the point that Karen made. Well, clearly they like me a little bit more than they like you.
Another thing is, yes, you're being awarded. Like I said, clearly it wasn't that serious if you didn't send it out earlier, but this is in honor of her father. So
right.
that to me it rubbed me the wrong way. It was like For one, it was last minute. You were just talking to her about her event, and hold on, I gotta plug my thing. You were just talking to her about her event, and
Mm-hmm.
then the next day you send out a message telling the ladies, "Hey, guess what? I have an event too, and I want you to come to it earlier." Having them, yes, in the middle or having to choose between the two events. And I felt Gizelle when she said, "This is not a bar crawl. Like, we're here to honor my father." And no, I thought it was distasteful. I thought it was super distasteful.
Okay, no, I get what you're saying, and to that point, it was about Giselle's dad. Um,
I think
and
that's why she was so upset, like about them, like because she's like the fact that yes, it was last minute, but also this is about my father. And the fact that y'all chose to go there or be there and show up late for this, and I'm trying to honor him. I think that's what really made her like so upset. I'm not excusing it because I definitely feel like the ladies went through hell and high water to get there.
right,
You know what I mean? I mean, I don't know how much she knows about that, but
I would have been like, what Wendy say? I would have just went ahead and sent a text. I would have been on the way to Karen's event, saw that traffic, saw that rain, and I would have kindly sent a text that said, "I'm sorry, Giselle, I'm not gonna make it. Unfortunately, I'm not gonna be there. I'd rather tell you I'm not gonna be there and give my, than just." But they did still try to show up.
yeah,
So,
I ain't
um,
got it out.
but yeah, and the whole time, and to that point, Ashley did tell them, here's the thing, because I think this is what we're gonna see next episode is Stacy start getting in Ashley's behind because she basically was on the phone and Ashley tells them it's okay if they need to get there by 8. They say they're not gonna be there till 8:30. Ashley says, please get here by 8 or it's gonna be a problem. They got there at 8:02.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and I will say the venue was decorated beautifully, by the way, for Giselle's
Well,
event.
even Ashley told Giselle though. She said I told them to be here by 8, and Giselle was fine with that.
So I'm confused as to why we see a clip of when Stacy questions Ashley and says, "You told us 8," and Ashley sits up there and act like she don't know nothing about it and plays stupid. Maybe I'm wrong, and we all know Ashley does that well. She plays dumb when it comes time when she needs to,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I think that was pretty much the episode. Anything else you want to touch on?
No.
But yeah, y'all. So we appreciate you being here with us for this recap of the Real Housewives of the Potomac. If you haven't already, please make sure that you hit that like button.
Make sure you comment
Make sure that you guys are subscribed.
and you hit the notification bell.
And make sure you're following us on all the platforms, the TikTok, the Twitter, the Facebook, and the IG. And yeah, we will catch you next week for episode 3 of the Real Housewives of Potomac. Have a good night. Bye-bye.